Right, so I got 201 leads in one day with one LinkedIn post using our lead magnets method. This basically resulted in us booking 6 sales calls, on the same day, so warm meetings without us having to do anything. Those are like inbound calls that essentially people booked on their own. And we got in the last 7 days, 15 sales calls. So that's a total of like 20 to 21 sales calls total. So that's basically like over $150,000 in pipeline generated from one LinkedIn post. So essentially, I'm going to show you first in this video, boom. So how to create, semi-viral post, that essentially gets you leads so that we can replicate what we've done. I'll show you the profile hack that I'm using in order to get inbound leads. So people to actually self-book without us having to do anything. From there, I'll show you the DM framework that I'm using to convert comments, into meetings. And finally, I'll show you the email marketing framework that I'm using to book even more warm meetings, in order for us to grow our business. So yeah, so basically like that's it. Let's actually dive in. All right, so first let me actually show you how to create a semi-viral post, that gets you leads, inbound leads that are coming to you, so that we don't have to reach out to them, code like most people are doing in this case. So before I actually dive into that, just wanted to show you what most people are typically doing. And I call this like the old way. The old way is you create like a value post. From there, you create an information-based post, create a funny post. I see a lot of those on LinkedIn. And most of the time, they don't get likes, they don't get engagements. And more importantly, they don't get leads because we don't care about likes, we don't care about comments if the post doesn't necessarily get us leads. Because I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you want to make more money with your business, you want to get more clients, so that's why you're watching. So yeah, so the mistake that I see is like, let me actually show you an example. So the messaging event API is going away. It met its latest graph, as you can see, like it's a video, but this stuff doesn't necessarily like generate dopamine. I'm not like, okay, I need to know like why, I need to learn more. I need to click on this link in order to figure out what it is, doesn't necessarily generate dopamine, therefore I'm not interested. And your content, needs to generate dopamine in order for it to work, whether it's a value post, a lead magnet post, whatever. As you can see, dopamine is a neurotransmitter made in your brain, and it plays a role as a reward center and in many body functions, including memory, movement, motivation, mood, and attention, and more. So if your content doesn't like generate that biologic response, it's not going to work out. So that's like the first thing that you need to do. But let me actually break down the post itself so that we can see what it looks like. So let me actually go on my LinkedIn profile. It's this one. So I posted this last Friday. So I stole Matt Lakayev's lead magnet strategy to scale to 100K per month using videos plus lead magnets. Great artists innovate, but the smarter takes inspiration from the best. Shout out to Matt Lakayev. So I'm basically going to like break down why this post worked, and how you can essentially replicate the same thing for your own posts. So the first thing is there is a strong hook, So basically I'm like, I stole Matt Lakayev's lead magnet strategy. Saying that you stole something is like, it's a bit controversial because like obviously it's like a crime, right? To steal, and it's not viewed as ethical, to steal, But in this case, I use like controversy in order for me to like really like get the person to like stop, So the aim when I create the hook is to start them on the track and have them like read what I'm talking about. From there, I stole Matt Lakayev's lead magnet strategy to scale to 100K per month. What you'll notice is like the best hook typically includes some sort of like number, So in this case, I'm like, okay, trying to scale to 100K per month, using videos plus lead magnets. 100K per month is something that's like, that most people want to achieve, with their business when they're in like the B2B space, So essentially, they're like, okay, I stole this strategy from this person to get to X outcome that most people want, So in my opinion, that's why like this stuff worked pretty well. So yeah. I was like, cool, great artists innovate, but the smartest take inspiration from the best. Shout out to Matt Lakayev. And then from there, I'm basically like saying, okay, I'm sharing the exact sales process I've created using insight for myself and 3 other top creators, So showing it's not just working for me, but it's working for other people as well. And it's 20-minute training you'll see, and then boom, I basically break down everything that they'll get, And a hack that you can use in order for you to do this is like every line. I learned this from like I have actually, every line needs to be like a mini hook, you know. So essentially like every line needs to be something where they're like, okay, boom, I really need this, you know. This stuff generates dopamine for that reason, because everything is optimized to have them be like, okay, I really want this, I need this, you know. So how I use DMs to grow my email list, how I send my VSL to qualify prospect with outbound outreach, how I generate comments and leads with lead magnet posts, how I turn other people's followers into my own leads, how I use YouTube to build my brand and book meetings, you know. This is more than just training. It's a proven blueprint used by top coaches and consultants. So again, social proof to 2x, 3x, 5x their business this year. This used to say, if you want access to it, just comment lead magnet, you know. And that generated like a bunch of people essentially that commented on the post. I was like, hey, lead magnet, lead magnet, lead magnet. I actually changed the CTA because I noticed that we got over 16,000 impressions, you know. So basically like I was like, okay, so the post has traction. Now I can just put the lead magnet directly in the post now that he has traction. If a post is not necessarily generating like, you know, at least 2,000 impressions and people are not commenting, I'd still like to have people comment, because by commenting, if one person comments on their feed, what's going to happen is it's going to show that they actually commented on my post. So it's going to, every person that comments is going to show it to more and more and more people, and it grows essentially organically, you know. So that's why like the CTA is typically to comment. Once, you know, the post does well, I change it to the actual lead magnet itself, so that people can just like go through it, click it, and that's it. See it. And then at the end, I was like, okay, reports to share with this with a biz friend, you know. So this doesn't necessarily matter. Like I found that, you know, people don't necessarily repost it that much, but I still like to include it. But yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is like that I see like a lot of people messing up as well is essentially like they create a great hook, but there's a second hook that you need to leverage as well. The second hook in this case is the visual hook. So typically there's like an image that you can include, you know, there's like, I don't know, a graph, something that you can include with your lead magnet post that will get people to stop whenever they scroll. And what I found is like just having a GIF, you know, and showing like multiple things at the same time, obviously related to my process, typically helps me to get their attention, you know. So the first hook is I stole Matlick as my strategy to scale to 100K per month using videos plus lead magnet. Second hook is boom, this. It stops them on their track and they're like, okay, you know, let me stop, let me actually read it. All right, so let's actually go into some of the stats, you know, from this post. So as you can see, I posted this on, September 27th. So that was last week. So essentially, this got us an extra 266 followers. So we went from like having 7.3 to having 7.6. So essentially, it's like close to 300 followers with one single post, you know. And same thing with like our Beehive. Let me actually show you. We got an extra 100 subscribers, you know, leveraging something like this. So that's like, this stuff is really, really powerful. Because if you do it correctly, you create the right post, you know, you have the right hook, you have the right visual hook, and then from there, like that's the kind of stuff that you can do essentially. So yeah, so let's actually dive into the second thing, which is the profile hack that I'm using to get inbound leads. So as I said, like we got over, you know, 5 to 6 people that essentially booked a call by basically like just going on our profile, you know. So in this case, in order for us to have like a profile that's really optimized, you'll see that everything is created in a way that we want to drive all this traffic to a video sales letter. So if you don't already know, a video sales letter, and by the way, like you can go on www.leadsup.com. That's basically like where you'll see like our VSL. And essentially like, basically it's a video that's designed to create an epiphany. So an epiphany is whenever you create, you basically breaks the person's beliefs, you know. You want to shift their mind on basically your process. You want to show them proof and results. You want to increase trust by showing them case studies. And then from there, there's a call to action, which is, hey, if you want to essentially like get help with something like this, just go ahead and book a meeting, you know. So that's basically like the kind of stuff, you know, that we're doing, and we're driving all that traffic, you know, to essentially the VSL. So I'm like, okay, founder@leadsup.com. That's a hack, is you essentially just had your website link directly into your profile. So founder@leadsup.com. Then I'm like, leverage Omnibound to book 20 plus warm sales calls or demos every month. So basically, it basically like explains like our promise, what we typically promise to like clients. And yeah, from there, as you can see, there's the banner as well. Book more meetings with Omnibound. Visit leadsup.com. And obviously, as you see, like everything is pointing down to the VSL as well. From there, there's like this. Hey, so do you want to book more sales calls? We're ready to buy prospects, start off endless LinkedIn messages, emails with no results, then keep reading. It's basically like a copy, not a copy, but a sales letter, basically like that we've created using AI as well. So if you want, you can like leverage this. So take my text, tailor it to your industry. Don't copy the whole thing, but tailor it to your industry. And then from there, do this for your own profile as well. So yeah, from there, learn more by going to www.leadsup.com, our VSL. And then from there, as you can guess, there's the featured section. Do you want former sales calls on the calendar? Click here, So basically, like, people can click here directly, and guess what? It's the VSL again. Everything is designed in a way to get them to watch a VSL so that way they can end up booking a call, essentially. That's how we got 5 to 6 people that essentially booked directly on our calendar. So yeah, from there, there's also join the Omnibound Slack community. So it's a second call to action, But essentially, like, what I'm doing is, if they're not booking a call, what you'll notice is if you click on interested, let's chat, what's going to happen is we're going to collect their information. As soon as we collect the information, they're transferred with like a Zap and an automation. They're transferred directly into our email list. So if I don't get them right now, eventually with my email list, by nurturing them, basically I'm going to get them at some point, essentially. So yeah, let's go back. Same thing with the Slack community. So essentially the call to action is, hey, join the family. Tell us more about yourself before joining. And it's basically like a Slack community that we've built. You get people that enter the first name, last name, email address, LinkedIn profile. And guess what? Same thing happens. We get basically like a Slack message every time that someone joins the community, And then from there, that gives us a signal to essentially reach out to them and try to book them on a call. But they also get transferred to our email list so that we can nurture them with content over time and have them book a call. Because what you'll notice is like, it's not necessarily, that's why I don't like cold outreach. It's like, cold outreach is about like getting meetings right now. I don't care about getting someone on the call right now because they don't know me, like me, and trust me. Therefore, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to sell them on stuff. Like, I don't like to oversell myself, I'd rather get warm leads, who already know what I do, already know who I am, like me already, like my process. And then from there, it's just about, okay, are we a fit for each other, in this case, on the sales call? So yeah, so that's basically it. Let me actually go back. Cool. And then finally, there's other sections, but that's pretty much it, like people see essentially that people check you out, so they check your content out. So it's important that they see that you actually post content. So if you're not posting content, I greatly recommend that you post content, post these lead magnet posts. And yeah, pretty much like the rest of this stuff doesn't necessarily matter. It's really just like the top. It's like, okay, founder@leadsup.com, book more meetings with Omnibound, visit leadsup.com. Oh, you want to get warmer sales calls? Click here, then you go on leadsup.com, and that's it. But basically, like, everything is pointing down to. So essentially, this is like a funnel. This is a funnel, a LinkedIn funnel. All right. So that's basically the profile hack. Now, let me actually show you the DM framework, that I'm using in order for me to convert those comments into meetings. Because obviously, like, there's two ways for us to do that. The first way is whenever someone comments, hey, I want the lead magnet. Let me actually show you the post. When someone comments, hey, I want the lead magnet, the first thing that we do, is we go ahead and send it to them. So obviously we send them the lead magnet. The lead magnet is created in a way that's going to essentially like give them a bunch of value, to make them want to essentially book a call, So for example, like this video that I'm recording right now is a lead magnet. I'm sharing a bunch of value with you in the hopes that maybe like, if you like me, if you like this content, that you'd want us to help you build something like this, essentially. But basically, like, you create an amazing lead magnet, and just them going for the lead magnet should encourage them to essentially book a call. The second thing that we do is we basically go ahead and message them. That's the hack, is you need to have like a DM infrastructure that gets people from commenters to people who want to go on a call with you. So I'll break down how to do that. The first thing that we leverage is we leverage the direct approach. So there's typically like 3 types of approaches when it comes to like DMing prospects. Just to give you some context as well, I've booked over like 4,000 sales calls, with like this stuff, the direct approach, and other approaches as well. So I know really what it takes to like book meetings, so yeah, that's outside the point. But yeah, so the first one is direct approach. From there, the second one is the engagement method, and I'll actually show you a third one that we've been using that got us like more results and that helped us to essentially book even more sales calls. So the first one, that's the direct approach. Hi Janice, thank you for commenting lead magnet. Here's how I install MatlaKF's lead magnet strategy. Boom. Here's the link to the lead magnet. And then PS, if you think that you might want some help generating more clients with pre-sent videos plus outbound, it would be great to potentially chat. See the video to see here if we might be able to help, So we sent this to a lot of people, We noticed one thing. So essentially this helped us to get more email subscribers, so people that added themselves, to our email list, But it didn't necessarily get us people that went through that VSL and ended up booking a call. So I was like, okay, so there's probably like a better way for me to do this stuff, because I'm sending out these messages, but people are not taking action. I was like, okay, cool. Let me then try the engagement method. The engagement method is basically whenever you, instead of just being so direct, you ask questions in order to unpack pain points, So you basically like try to find inefficiencies, and then from there, you get them to a point where they almost want your help, because you've unpacked so many inefficiencies in their process, So how it works, and let me show you an example, is like still same message at the top, but below you can see, and got a quick biz question for you. Is it okay for me to ask here? So basically I'm asking a question in order to get them to basically like say, yes, for sure, you can ask me the question. And we ask 2 to 3 other questions, that lead them to booking a call essentially. So yeah, this stuff is super, super powerful. I'm actually going to share with you an example that we can see. All right, so I found it. This is basically the master script. So in this case, you'll see that this is like what we use in order first. This is the engagement method. So it's like asking multiple questions, so most of the time it's like 2 to 3 questions that you ask. Let me show you an example. So let's say that you end up like talking to a potential person. They responded to your lead magnet. You told them to comment real estate. They commented it. From there, you send them the lead magnet. You ask them, okay, is it cool if I ask you a question? Quick question, quick like real estate question, is it cool? They say yes. Then from there, you could start with this. Cool. So it could be completely off base, but like you cover the Boston area, right? They say yes. Awesome. So do you do like mostly residential stuff? Yeah. So I work with like agents all over the US, booking listings on their calendar for them. Was looking to work with an agent around the Boston area. Is that cool? And you say, I'm assuming you guys work with buyers around 400 to 7K price point, right? And it's basically like more and more questions, more and more questions that uncover pain points, that uncover inefficiencies in their process, and then from there you go ahead and offer your product as the solution. So you can say, I can actually like lend some insight based on everything that you've said, because we've been doing X, Y, and Z in order for us to get X amount of listings, for example, So there's like a bunch of different frameworks, for different industries, So I'm going to put that down below. So if you want access to it, you can go down below in order for you to get the master script. It's going to include, there's so many niches in there. There's like roofing space, there's like credit repair space, special needs education, prospecting, so there's a bunch of financial advisors. There's a bunch of different industries, and you'll be able to like model this. And even if you don't have your industry in there, you can model some of these questions and apply it to your own industry as well. So yeah, so go ahead and like get that down below. It's going to be down below. And yeah. So after writing like these 2 messages, we noticed that this one got us like a good amount of like subscribers, This one gave us the same amount of subscribers, if not more. We were able to like start more conversations, but the questions that we were asking it's like within, that's the only perk, you know, with like the only downside, let's say, with the engagement method is that it can be long, you know, to essentially book someone on a call. So we found something that's like in between and in the middle, and it's basically like the hybrid method. So we still asked a question in order to get them to say yes, but once they said yes, we basically went ahead and pitched them with like an offer, and then from there we got them on a call, you know, and that got us, I believe, on Thursday actually, this Thursday, this got us 6 calls in one day, you know. So yeah, so that's basically it, you know, when it comes to this. So leverage this stuff. This is super powerful, you know. And sometimes you'll even notice that like you can start with like the direct approach or the hybrid method, and then you end up seeing that you have to like uncover pain points in order for them to really go on the call. So you end up using the engagement method. It's never like, okay, you use this or you use that. It's like you use a mix of everything and you see what works. So that's why it's going to be important for you to like go down below in order to access this stuff, so that we can understand the engagement method. So yeah. All right, from there, the exact email marketing framework, you know, that I used to generate even more warm meetings. So obviously, as I said, essentially what we do is we send them a page where we're going to collect their email in this case. Once we collect their email, what ends up happening is obviously we send them daily emails every single day. The purpose of those emails is, you guessed it, is to drive people to our VSL. So let me actually show you an example. So yeah, it's like this. Boom. So 70 leads and 1 client in 1 minute. Remember Elise and Ali? So this is like a story with like one of our clients. They got 70 leads in 1 minute, and they got 1 client a few days after that from those leads, and there's like much more to come as well. But essentially, like the call to action in this case is like, hey, reply with the word leads, you know, and our share will be like the Omnibound system. Once they respond, I'm like, hey, you can actually go through this video and it's going to show you how we can help, essentially. They go through the video. It's the same like video sales letter, you know, it's the same like it's leadsup.com. And then from there, they end up booking a call or not in this case, you know. And even like a system that you can use with this is we use our B2B. So I don't know if you, our B2B. So with our B2B, what happens is we're able to get like the website visitors, and we can get their email and we can get their LinkedIn profile. So people that end up like watching our stuff, watching our VSL, either through the newsletter stuff that we're doing, or from the LinkedIn content that we're posting, or from the YouTube stuff that we're doing as well. Essentially, we can like reach out to those and say, hey, I noticed that you take a pickup at our website. You know, I'm curious like what prompted you to like go on the website. And then from there, we can like start a conversation. And there's like, these are like the highest intent leads because they went on the website. And those are like the best leads, to be honest. So yeah. The second way, you know, that we use in order for us to like grow with email marketing is obviously like we include the lead magnet, and we post that lead magnet onto our YouTube channel in this case. So how I'm scaling to 100K per month, and I don't even have like a crazy amount of subscribers, but you're gonna see like this is going to grow because the more LinkedIn content we post, you know, the more feedback it gives us on what type of videos to post, and from there, the more subscribers, you know, we end up getting, and the more people are going to end up like booking a call through YouTube in this case. So I was like, okay. So I posted like the lead magnet.
Comment je gagne 150 000 € par mois?
Okay. So I'm scaling to 100K per month, you know, with DMs plus content. Boom. That's not me, by the way. That's an ad. You know, it got 4 likes, you know, 148 views, and that's solely from people going from my LinkedIn, asking for the lead magnets, opting into our email list, and then from there, having them like go watch it. And then guess what? How we can reach you 20 plus ready to buy sales calls per month using the Omnibound funnel. And so it's basically a link to our VSL as well, you know, and our community as well. So essentially like everything, as I said, it's a funnel. Like the funnel is, we drive traffic, all that traffic, you know, to essentially our leadsup.com website. And yeah, so one thing that we noticed is in order for us to book 5 sales calls every single day, and you can make like the same hypothesis. If you're able to get 32 people to watch your video every single day. Essentially, if your VSL is well constructed, you have a good VSL that creates epiphanies with a good call to action, essentially, you should be able to book 5 sales calls per day. So our aim right now is to put as much in the world right now in terms of content, in terms of like messages that we're sending, you know, in order to get 32 views onto our VSL every single day. And once we do that, we know that we'll book 5 sales calls every day. Because like the days where we book like 5, sometime more, is when we have like around 30 views. And yeah. So yeah, that's it. One last thing related to like this whole thing is like you need to make sure that you ultimately test a lot of different variations and angles. So in order for me to like figure out, and let me show you Tapio, in order for me to like figure out, okay, what was like going to work, you know, I had to test so many posts that is crazy. Let me show you my queue. Oh no, my stats. And I have like an overview. I know like how many each post, you know, gets me. So obviously like this one stood out. So I still met Lakayev's lead magnet strategy. We got 16,000. Engagement was like 504. 3% engagement rates, you know, which is pretty cool compared to the other ones. We got 111 likes and 488 comments, you know, at the end of the day, you know. But basically it's like I tested so many variations, you know. One that did well as well was this one. So I was like, I generated 1.7 million worth of leads for $0 on LinkedIn. Let me actually show you. So I basically like tested out a bunch of different angles. And I also tested out, okay, GIFs versus videos, you know. So I ended up seeing that posting GIFs ended up getting us like more engagement because it looks more juicy than this, you know, basically like the videos. So essentially like that's for us, you know. It could be different for you and for other people, but that's like for us, that's the hypothesis that we've made, and we got like a lot more engagement by basically adding the GIFs in this case. But I also have like a special file with every single hand raisers, you know, that got me to stop, and that stopped me from essentially like scrolling, you know. Every time that I see a good hand raiser, I'm like, okay, let me actually take the copy and let me reverse engineer the copy so that I can do something similar. So I've tested out so many things, you know, to see what works, you know, so essentially like if you want to do something like this, you need to test out the copy. You need to have a good DM framework. You need to have like someone that's going to message all those leads, because I didn't message all those leads. That would be impossible. That's the sales agent that did this. There's so many things, you know, that you need to do in order for this to work, but it's definitely possible, you know, for you to get this to work, because you don't need a crazy amount of engagement. If you just get like 100 to 200 comments, you know, on your post, that's like 200 leads already in this case that you can reach out to and you can get them as clients. You don't need to have like thousands of followers. This works even if you have 0 followers. One last thing that I wanted to point out related to the post. One hack. This video is it's a bit messy, but I'm just like remembering some other stuff that I forgot to mention. But one hack is to basically like tag a LinkedIn influencer, you know, in your post. So for example, let me actually go back. So I stole Matt Lakayev's lead magnet strategy just to go to 100K per month using videos plus lead magnets. As you can see, I tagged him twice, you know, and what really got this post to work is obviously the post is good, you know, but at the same time, Matt Lakayev ended up liking the post and he ended up commenting on the post as well, you know. Therefore, like he has a lot of followers and a lot of engagement. Therefore, like he pushed our post, you know, where it allowed it to even go like, it's not viral. It basically went semi-viral in this case because he commented on our stuff. So if you want to like get a post that really gets engagement without you having followers, without you having any track record, you can tag people who are in your post in order for you to be able to like get more likes, get more comments. The more important thing is getting more comments, obviously. And yeah, that's pretty much it. that's the overall strategy, So if you want us to like basically help you with this entire thing, not only with like crafting the post, but also the DM structure, because like if you're not able to convert all of that attention into sales calls, like what are we doing? There's no point. So in this case, like if you want us to like install this system, in your business, having, like the post structure in order for you to like really get comments from there, having the DM structure from there, having the email marketing frameworks, in order for you to keep getting even more warmer sales calls, if you want us to help you with this, I'd love to see if we can help. So you can go down below. There's going to be a short video that essentially explains how we can help you do this. It's really valuable. So go ahead and check that out if you want our help. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.